Aren't we all looking for our own purpose while we're here on earth, while we're here in this world? Even if we think that we've found it, we still leave room for question or, for ways to try to improve our lives, don't we? Sure we do. Hey everyone, this is James Nussbaumer, and I am the author of these two books right here. The first one is The Master of Everything, a story of mankind in the world of illusion that we call life, and its sequel, which they are companions, called Mastering Your Own Spiritual Freedom, Principles from A Course in Miracles and Lessons there. And that's what I write about. And for those of you that know me, know that I'm fond of A Course in Miracles. But you might be feeling indecisive and afraid of change, not sure of trusting others, lacking direction, and just plain not sure how to find your purpose in life. But consider that since you have only two systems for the way you think, so let's call that two thought systems that we really have, and one of them is the illusory ego. It's that, I call it the ego-based mind. It's that non-whole aspect of us which is always judging because of its own fears and doubts. It's a separated thought system. It's separated from wholeness. It doesn't know how to be whole. But then there's the Holy Spirit. That's a thought system within us as well. Traditional religions want to say that it is some kind of an outside source, and that's okay. That's just a way in the past of teaching us how to, grab on to divinity, and that's fine. But then, the Holy Spirit must have to be our connection, our link with our higher self, which really, if it's our link to our higher self, it is our higher self. So what I mean, it's we're fearless, where our fearlessness and our wholeheartedness rests. That's the Holy Spirit in us. So it's either the ego or it's the Holy Spirit that we operate from. Truth abides in your mind, doesn't it? Is it from the ego or is it from the side of the Holy Spirit? There can't be any in between or, a little bit this way or a little bit that way. It's really one or the other. Your mind is acknowledged by you as either wholly of God, unseparated and communicated through you by the Holy Spirit, which is that link that I was talking about, or it is of the conflicting and separated ego-based mind. There is no other, nor is there a combination of the two. Therefore, which of the two is the real you? Now, this may seem a little confusing right now, and you may be in, of course, the confusion comes from the ego in us, because that's the part of us that's the shadow of humanity. It is our part that doesn't know how to be whole. So that's why what I just mentioned to you, which is even confusing for myself too, but that's why I mentioned to you that it's confusing, and we're either one of the two. Sometimes doesn't it think that we're more drawn towards the ego side when we're upset and we're constantly judging someone or something or the world or nations or whatever? But then don't you but then there's that other side of us sometimes where we think, the love, if I give more love and appreciate that, so we're kind of torn between the two. So maybe what we need to do is try to the best we can to be more towards the side that we really like. A Course in Miracles states, and this might clear some things up to you with the confusion, if you'll just think about this quote and contemplate this, that comes from A Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles states, the Holy Spirit can hold your magnitude clean of littleness, clearly and in perfect safety in your mind, untouched by every little gift the world of littleness would offer you. Think about that. Really contemplate on that. The world of littleness. With this understood and accepted, whenever you are with another person in this world, you have the opportunity to find them rather than to fear them. The ego will try to judge them whether good or bad. It will always be for how you may, benefit or prosper, when you in trying to know this person. But keep in mind the old adage about judging a book by its cover. But your ego will continue to judge the book by its cover. And immediately it will wish to size up a new person that you encounter every day in your life, but only has the experience of nothing. The ego really knows nothing, really divinely. It knows nothing. It cannot see to someone's heart. When you're looking into someone's heart, it is your Holy Spirit looking at their Holy Spirit. Egos can't really see anything but conflict within each other. So, the ego's credentials really speak for itself, the ego, the way it is, since the ego is really nothing. It really is an illusion in our mind, but we're so used to it. And things are changing, though. It really is. But whenever you are with another person, you are learning what you are, because you are teaching what you are in limiting false beliefs between other people that you're talking to. Keep in mind that, remember, when you're talking to someone else, you are either projecting illusory images of what you think they might be about, or you're extending a one-minded thought in the encounter that you're making with that person. The ego is busy projecting all sorts of fear-based images. But the real you extends the truth through love and joy and peace, something the ego is incapable of. Whomever you encounter will respond either out of fear or of joy when they meet you, which is the same as untruth or truth. And this will depend on which teacher you are listening to, either the ego or the Holy Spirit. They are both within you, but only the truth is real inside of you. Your encounter with anyone that you run into will either imprison you or it will free you. Bondage or freedom will be based on how you decide. It's a goal of life and it is a huge responsibility you have to yourself, so that each encounter that you make in this world can be in line with your purpose, or instead, nothing at all. And what is your purpose? What really is your purpose in this world? It's material things that lead to something, but it's all about the result of inner peace and freedom, isn't it? This is why it's always important to keep the ego out of any encounter that you have. The best that you can try to do. And if you try to do this, the best that you can do to keep your own ego out of every encounter, it will keep the encounter holy, which makes it a holy encounter. So if you can understand this, and you are seeing why you once believed that when you first met another person, you thought he or she was someone other than yourself. Well, let me tell you that every holy encounter that you enter into fully will teach you that this is not so. Why? Because, because of this. Try to remember this when you catch yourself judging the book's cover, that even in a holy encounter, once the person walks away from you that you're judging, their own ego may turn on its. Let's just say that you have a great meeting with someone and you're speaking heart to heart and you feel it's the Holy Spirit to Holy Spirit talking to one another. Okay, then, in that holy encounter, once that person walks away from you, their own ego may turn on its own projector, the projection in their mind. And so may your own ego-based mind begin projecting images based on judgment. But that's okay. It really is, because that's all part of human nature while we're in this world. But at least you will have initially seen that person for the truth that they are. In that one instant of knowing someone from the truth that they are is the best experience that you can have in your life. Why? Because that one little instant where time doesn't really matter, has made you whole, more whole than you were before. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, hey, contact me anytime. There's a place for you to contact me in the link on this blog post. And I wish the best for you. God bless. And hey, to your higher self,